Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Thank you.
We will be getting started shortly. Please mute your mics. If you are present in room 514, please mute your cell phone. When your docket is called, if you are online, you will unmute yourself and wait till after your docket is introduced, and you will state your name for the record. If you are in person, you will come up to the table to introduce yourself and your relationship as well to the property. We'll get started in minutes.
There we go.
Ms. Davis, please mute your microphone.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, we can begin with the preamble.
Okay, in compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law in section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1796, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the city planning department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting has the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile versions and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. All meeting activity is being recorded by way of the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed by way of YouTube. All requests to speak on a particular matter by way of our website and email have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Mr. Jacobson.
Mr. Chairman, this is Dan Jacobson from the Law Department. Preliminary issues, can we verify that the live stream is on and functioning?
Through the chair, yes.
And Mr. Chairman, as the Law Department has done since these meetings have gone public and or virtual or hybrid, law states its objection to the check. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jacobson. Ms. Davis.
Mr. Maskey?
Here.
Yeah, if you are a call-in user, you need to mute your microphone. I will move you to the lobby. Mr. Dean?
Here.
Mr. Gallagher?
Here.
We have a call.
Okay, we only have 3 board members, which means that if our decision is not unanimous, which it usually is, then your appeal goes back to the city. If for that reason you prefer not to have your case heard, then let me know when we call your case that you would like to reschedule your case. Okay, we'll pull up the first docket is housing docket A 7624 12507 Astor Avenue.
1 second. Okay. Mr. Gallagher,
Yes.
did you introduce the document already? Sir.
Yes. you-
Application and fees, sorry, our application and fees. Right. This is a violation notice of no permit and interior maintenance issued on January 25th of 2024. Appeal was received on April 21st of 2024, requesting for 60 days to abate the violations. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Billing Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Would the appellate or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Good morning, Jim Petropolius, attorney for the appellant. And once again, just like a couple weeks ago, my video is not, it was working and it went off, so I apologize for that. I also have Kathy Wynn from the appellant, one of the employees there in attendance also.
Okay, those that are going to be given testimony, yourself and Ms. Nguyen, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Thank you. My client obtained a contractor, retained a contractor on May 14th, 2024 to begin the work. The contractor did commence some of the work that did not require a permit, and the contractor suddenly pulled out of the job and said they will not be doing the work in this area anymore. My client is in the process of obtaining 3 proposals from other contractors, wants to get all the work done, asks for additional time. Due to the nature of the violations, the extent of the violations, would request 6 months to complete, but defers to the board. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments on that from the appellants?
Unless my client wants to add anything, no, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, good morning. So from the city's position, there's just a quick, first question is, the appeal before the board is for the no permit violation notice. There is a companion violation notice for interior and exterior maintenance. Is that before the board today, Ms. Davis?
Through the chair to Chief Vanover, yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Chairman, we would ask, these notices of violation were issued in January, and it is now August, so we are 7 months past the past the violation date. So there's been 6 months. We would ask that no time be given for the no permit violation notice, because it is, the permits are required before work is done. And, I think that 6 months is too much time for the notice of violation for interior, exterior maintenance. We are at 8 months already, and, many of the things on here were just neglected, deferred maintenance that should have been taken care of to begin with.
Okay. You care to respond, Mr. Petropoulos?
Thank you. Yes, I fully appreciate that it has been a very long time. I mean, just my own personal, I have a project being done at my home, not in the city of Strongsville, that I've had a contractor disappear and the current one I keep having to chase down, and I'm an attorney. We apologize for what happened here. We understand it's deferred maintenance. So my client is trying to do the right thing here, is trying to get these violations corrected, and understand that this contractor did not pull permits. My understanding, it started work that didn't require permits. And again, this was a $22,000 job, but they will get somebody on the job. They will get all of this correct. Thank you.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Mr. Vanover.
just for verification, this property is This property is owned by Lofty Holding, 12507 Astor LLC.
Mr. Petropoulos?
Yes,
Okay, and where is Lofty Holdings located out of?
Texas.
Okay,
And if I might add, this property was purchased in June of 2022, so a little over 2 years ago.
right. So, Mr. Chairman, this is a commercial enterprise that purchased investment property in the city of Cleveland. I'm assuming, well, I'm not assuming, I know that many of these conditions would have existed at the time of purchase because they are deferred maintenance. And as a corporation, we have an expectation that when you're purchasing property for commercial purposes, that you have the means and the methods to keep it maintained or to correct any problems. As I've said many times in this hearing, the condition of the property most definitely influenced the purchase price. And we are now 2 years from purchase. We are 8 months from violation. And the notice of violation for no permit clearly states work being done that requires a permit. We would ask that you remand it back to the department and for further action and grant no more time because the work should have been done a long time ago.
Okay, board members, any comments?
I do not disagree with Mr.
Okay,
I concur with Mr. Vanover and Mr. Dank's comment.
okay, motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Second,
Okay, moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maskey,
yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you'll be notified within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket is going to be a housing docket A 108-24, 1714 Redway Avenue.
Application and fees are included. Notice of violation is a vacate order and hazardous conditions issued on April 26th of 2024. Appeal was received May 21st, 2024, requesting for 6 months to complete abatement of the hazardous condition. Present for today's hearing, Chief Building Official Tom Vanover, Dan Jacobson Law. We have Inspector Michael Shockley. Will the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
Anthony Kushlak.
Did you hear that, Mr. Chairman?
I got that. Mr. Kushlak?
Yes, sir.
Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are here.
Well, my plan is I want to get access to my house so I can start cleaning it up for the building violations. Unfortunately, Judge Scott with Inspector Shockley gave me a vacate order to where I cannot go into the property and start cleaning it up. And I just don't understand, how can I clean it up if I'm not allowed in there? See, and from my last hearing, it says here, defendant is prohibited from going to the cited property at 1714 Treadway Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44109, without permission of the court. Defendant should not be sleeping on the exterior of the property or visiting the property without Chief Cannonberth, Inspector Alan Mancuso, or Inspector Michael Shockley. So this is from the court to where I can only go in the house if one of the inspectors see me go in and see me come out. And that's just not working because I have heart failure and I'm better off working at my own pace and not saying, well, can I go in this time? Can I go in that time? This housing judge just won't work with me, sir.
Okay, we'll talk to Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is a case where, this is a matter where there is a companion court case on another set of violations for this house. And the court has ordered, which is beyond the jurisdiction of this board, the court has ordered the defendant to stay out of the house without permission of the court. And what has been lacking throughout this case is a true plan to clean it up and to fix the things that are required. The court will grant permission, and so will the Department of Building and Housing with a real plan. There's been many resources from different community, working, talking to aging and talking to the Veterans Administration, where the appellant needs some assistance because this is not something that he can do on his own, and has to be able to work with whatever entities can provide assistance. At this point, we're not even sure that Court Community Services will attempt to clean out the hoarder conditions or the conditions of the property, because there are pets, there's stray animals, there's animal waste, and so it's become a challenge to get any assistance. But it all boils down to the fact that if there is a true plan and real resources that the defendant is willing to work with and allow them to assist, which he's been reluctant to allow anybody to assist him to this point, then if there's a real plan, then the court will allow it and approve it, and so will the Department of Building and Housing. But the model of just unfettered access to the property, to clean up or to fix anything, has been shown to, it's not successful, and it's not a viable action, because all access to the house just in the past has ended up with the appellant just moving back in and staying there, and little or no progress. There's a lot of moving pieces to this. The court is involved, so even if this board grants more time on the vacate order, it doesn't provide access to the appellant because the courts still has their prohibition. We ask that you deny any more time, you remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing with the caution that the appellate, that you have to allow for whatever resources are available to help clean this situation up. So we ask that you deny and remand.
Mr. Chairman, this is Patty. Mr. Kuchlak has his hand raised in room 514. Before you go forward, just as an advisement to the board, this board is only ruling on this docket that's in front of them, which is a request for time, which I believe on Mr. Kuchlak's paperwork, he's asked for 6 months. So that is what is before the board. This board has no authority over any of the matters as ruled on by any courts of competent jurisdiction. So you are dealing with this docket in request for time.
Okay.
Mr. Kuchlak has his hand raised.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Kuchlak.
Well, what I would like to say is that they're not even making accommodations so I can take my daily insulin. And I'm getting sick from not taking my insulin on a daily basis. And the way the court and the inspectors have had it, I have no access to my medication of insulin.
Mr. Kuchlak, it sounds like you can have that if you went to the court and allowed for an individual to come in there, whether it be Mr. Shockley or whoever, to get what you need, but it doesn't sound like as if that's what your plans are. So I don't think we really, hearing the information from Mr. Vanover, I really don't believe that things are going to change. So I think that you're putting us in a position to remand this, which means that you still can continue on through the courts from what it sounds like to me. But as far as the getting 60 days or any kind of time, if you're not going to respond to it, then I believe that we must remand it. So motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property Division of Building and Housing for any further action.
But everything they're showing you in the pictures have already been addressed.
Okay,
if we can procedurally, before there's discussion, there's a motion on the table, if we could have a second.
So if that was a motion, I will second.
okay,
Thank you, now you can have a discussion.
okay. Go ahead, before we take a vote, we'll have the discussion. Mr. Kushlak, you said you cleaned up the outside, all that's taken care of?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah, everything they're showing you has already been addressed and cleaned up.
okay. But you're still talking about having to do something within the house. And
Yes, sir.
so that's part of that is the reason why we're remanding it. So, did we call for the vote yet, Ms. Davis?
Mr. Day, Mr. Chairman did the motion, Mr. Day, second.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, a notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
You're done, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, there's a motion denied.
So
Work with the court. You have to ask, or as Mr. Chairman said, you have to go to the court and ask the court and give particulars on how you want to gain access through the court. Good luck to you, sir. Good to see you, Mr. Chad.
Okay, so next docket is building docket A 2824 2720 Van Aken Boulevard.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance issued January 9th, 2024. Appeal was received February 8th of 2024, requesting for 6 months to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Tom Gunover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson Law. Would the appellate or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
This is Robert Zimmerman with the Benish Law Firm on behalf of the appellant. Kristen Jansen is also on the line, also representing, not as an attorney, but as the lay representative of the appellant.
Okay, Mr. Zimmerman and Ms. Jansen solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and proceed, Mr. Zimmerman.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. This property, at least we think, is the subject of a pending case before the Housing Court 2019 CRB 017773, which is under community control. We most recently had a hearing on the matter a couple of weeks ago, and we'll be returning to court on October the 30th. There is no question that there are violations at issue with respect to the subject property, but pursuant to our activities in trying to fulfill community control in the court case, we have been working amongst ourselves and with the city to primarily look to demolish the property in question. We have, as we indicated in the appeal, we contracted for and have achieved the asbestos abatement in the building. We are prepared to move forward once we secure funding for the demolition. We were hopeful to have been funded through the first round of brownfield grants. We were unsuccessful, but we do believe we have a much better chance of success in the next funding round. Pursuant to what Judge Scott asked us to do at the last hearing in the housing court case, she asked us to come up with a plan B in case we are not able to fulfill our desire to demolish the property. We are working very aggressively on that. In fact, we, at the judge's suggestion, we reached out to Inspector Mark Watson to get his his perspective on what needs to be done. And some of that actually had to do with the exterior maintenance and to better secure the property. So we are going to get this fixed one way or the other. The reason why we asked for additional time was to see if we could get the funding for demolition. Unfortunately, that was not successful. And the court, again, has asked us to come back, and we will come back on October 30th with a plan B if we are unable to secure demolition funding. And again, I want to emphasize, and hopefully the city would agree, we have been very proactive in our communication, working with the inspector, Mr. Watson, and also Mr. Cannonberg. Thank you.
Ms. Jansen, any comments? Okay.
No, thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, the original, there was a violation notice issued for exterior and interior maintenance on this property in 2019. The conditions continue to deteriorate, this is not a condemnation that stays with the, the violation stays with the property, but it's not a condemnation notice. It's an exterior violation that continues to deteriorate, which is why it was cited again for further conditions of deterioration in 2024, January of this year. This property is owned by Bonwit Teller, LLC. As my understanding, that's who has been cited. And as a corporate property, there's an expectation that the funding and the resources to maintain the property or to dispose of the property are in place. So again, this is a matter of deferred maintenance that has been neglected for a long period of time. We have 2 active violation notices, 1 court case, and this one alone is 7 months old. So we would ask that you deny any more time, remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing. I am not willing to agree to more time for imaginary funding when the expectation is that the corporate entity should have the ability to fund the maintenance of their buildings without grants and loans and grants and brownfield money. So.
Okay.
Thank you to that point. I'm quite certain the brownfield program is not imaginary.
Mr. Chairman, no, the brownfield program is not imaginary, but your ability to gain those funds, obviously, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, do you have an agreement and a commitment to receive brownfield money?
That is not up, Mr. Chairman. That is not up to the appellant. That is up to the brownfield grant program. We do not speak for them. We tried to get funding through the first round. We were unsuccessful. We described all of this with the court, and as Mr. Cannonberg described, we have been extremely proactive and communicative with the city, and the judge understood and said, look, if you're unable to secure funding, you're going to have to come up with a plan B. And plan B would involve redevelopment of the property and getting each and every one of these violations fixed, which we are committed to do. We just need additional time to do it. The property didn't get this way, overnight. We recognize this is a deferred maintenance issue. We're committed to getting this fixed up because we're part of the historic Shaker Square district, or at least adjacent to it. We want to be part of the redevelopment. We want to be part of the improvement of this area. We're excited about the possibilities and what it can mean for our business and for Shaker Square. So we're all in, and we understand our obligations here, but this is not a matter of trying to kick the can down the road and hoping the problem isn't going to go away. We want it to go away, and we're committed to make it happen. Unfortunately, we just need additional time, and our brownfield application was a way to augment our funding so we could get it done. Fortunately, we weren't successful. We hope to be successful the next time, but as Judge Scott said, if we can't do that, we got to come up with a plan B, and we're working on it, and we were prepared to report back to the court at the end of October.
Mr. Chairman, this is Patty. Similar to Mr. Kushlak's case right prior before this, the pending case before the judge is not within the purview of this board. What is in this board's purview is this notice and the request for time. Anything outside of that regarding the court's orders are subject to those matters. I will note he gave a 2019 case, which means that case has been pending for 5 years since filing in housing court. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Vanover.
I would just like to restate our position. There's currently not a funding model being presented to this board. There's an application for brownfield. There's not the subsequent Plan B of what the redevelopment looks like is also not presented to this board. And I would, and though I understand where it's at and what the possibilities are, from our perspective, all in would mean the willingness to privately fund and to have already begun what is a 5-year problem. So I'm reluctant to agree to more time based on a commitment to be all in when there's no evidence that that is accurate. This is it appears to be unfunded speculation of what could be based on the adjacent neighborhood and what could be. But before this board today, there is no plan. There's no Plan A because the funding hasn't been secured. There's no Plan B before the board. We ask for to deny any more time, remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing for further action.
Okay, yeah, remanding does not stop you from moving forward. Mr. Zimmerman and Ms. Jansen, you still could, we expect that you still would move forward and complete if the demolition is what you need to do. So a motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Maskey,
Second.
second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dake,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next docket, 82924 6330 Lorraine Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance issued on December 27th of 2023. Appeal was received January 8th of 2024. The applicant did not specify how much time they needed to abate the violation. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
My name is Anne Marie Butler. I am the executor of the estate of John and Catherine Carey, who were owners of the building at 6330 Lorraine Avenue.
Okay, all those going to be given testimony. I see that Ms. Lazar is on also. So all those that are going to be given testimony in this case, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what the plans are.
Okay, currently we have that building and the building east of it, 6318 Lorraine Avenue, for sale, as is by owners, which is the estate. We had a difficult time. First of all, as soon as we received the violation, all the debris was collected from the rear of this 6330 immediately before we even filed for an appeal. But then it's taken us all this time to find out what was causing the problem on the front of the building. And now we are in the process of finding someone to repair the facade. As I said, the building is also up for sale currently.
Okay, so in our part, we're not going to give more time for a sale, but we do give more time for completing and abating the violations. How much time do you think you need?
I am uncertain. Like I said, it took all this time till now to find out. I'll tell you essentially what we were told. The front facade of the building is a tile that is overlaid on red brick. So the Problem is, the steel above the window has expanded and contracted over time, causing the masonry units to move in such a manner as to create fissures in an upward direction above the windows and the facade. So the building was built in 1900. My family has lived in that, well, as a child, I lived in the funeral home upstairs next to that building since 1966. We maintain it daily. But like I said, now I'm trying to find someone that can make the repair to the window frame and then adjust the tiles accordingly. I don't know how long that will take. People have been ghosting forever.
Okay, so you have not contracted with any,
No, we've had people look, and then this was ultimately the outcome. We do have funds available to make the repairs. Now it's a matter of finding someone that can make those repairs.
okay. All right, Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, what if the property is for sale, then what happens if you find a buyer before the repairs are made?
I don't know. They are aware that we do have a violation. The people that have come to look at the property are aware that there is a violation.
So, Mr. Chairman, this property is the subject of, we received multiple complaints on this property from the neighborhood, from the community, and which resulted in.
Excuse me, sir. I've only been made aware of one question by Councilwoman Spencer's office, but nothing else.
Okay.
And I do go there every day to check the security of the building. And otherwise, we do, there's not usually a bit of dirt there. Every week we take, we cut the grass, the weeds, pick up the trash. So if they're aware of more complaints from the neighbors, this is the first I'm hearing of it, except for the one, and it had to do with the faux fire lights on either side of the front door.
Yeah, Mr. Vanover?
Mr. Chairman, may I continue?
You can, yes.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, Mr. Chairman, so we've received complaints for the property being vacant and distressed. We've received a complaint for broken and boarded up windows, broken lights on the side of the building. And then we received a complaint about garbage piled up along the back of the building, and and again, the windows and the clay tiles, or the stone tiles being cracking. Our concern is this is a hazardous condition that is going to continue through the winter months, especially to continue to deteriorate. We are not opposed at the city for this property to be in the hands of a beneficial owner that can actually has the resources and the means and the connections to get it repaired. But this is an economic decision made by the owner. I'm sure that, as you've heard me say before, the inability to sell a property is almost always based on the price being asked. So we would ask that, again, this is a property that it's owned by, it's in the name of an estate. We would ask, and it needs to be corrected, this is deferred maintenance. We would ask that you deny any more time and remand it back to the department. It doesn't, I am not hearing a real plan to move forward.
Okay, let me go to see if Ms. Lazar has a comment.
Chief Gallagher. Ms. Butler is correct. The only outreach that I have had with her is a complaint that we received regarding the faux lights on the front, and she was very quick to respond, and so we appreciate that. I have been at the property multiple times. It has been free of junk and debris and litter. It is a beautiful structure. And I do share Commissioner Vanover's concern that the amount of time that it has been in this condition has been quite extensive, and the thoughts and intentions of a plan in place are concerning. So the council office would also support remanding to Building and Housing.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Butler, go ahead. Ms. Butler?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. You have your hand raised.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a child in the room. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So you've heard what Mr. Vanover has to say. All right.
Yes.
Chairman, I just have one question to the appellant.
Go ahead.
Do you have a list of contractors that you're trying to reach out to, or are you now just trying to find contractors?
We had started with people that we knew, people that had done things over the years in our own personal lives, but we had no list of someone, you know, that the city had or thought that was the caliber that we would need to repair it.
I live in this neighborhood and I go by this building almost daily. It's a beautiful building, but my fear is that this is not a project for a local handyman or a general contractor. This is a restoration contractor that deals with terracotta and rental replacement and those types of things. A little more sophisticated organization. And if you don't have the wherewithal to reach out to those types of contractors, I think it would be best to remand this to the city and let them work with you or give you guidance on how to go about this. They're not going to tell you how to do it, but they're going to have probably a little more breadth and depth to help you get this thing moving.
Okay, I would totally appreciate guidance and assistance. That's where I'm at a loss. You know what I mean? I am, as I said, the executor of my parents' estate. This building has been in our family since 1979. I lived in the house next door since 1966. And it is a beautiful building, but it was purely storage from 1979 till now.
Do you have an architect that you're working with?
No.
That would probably be a first step in maintaining the integrity of this building, is engaging an architect.
Okay.
To solve this.
Will someone in Building and Housing be able to?
I don't think they're going to give you a specific name.
Can they give a list?
Probably call the American Institute of Architects office in Cleveland and see who handles restoration work.
Okay. What about the Restoration Society or?
That's another avenue as well, but again, time, and you're going to deal with organizations, and I think it would be best to hand this to the city so you can work with the city and these organizations and, you know, the development corporation to make sure that this building, this is one of the nicest buildings in the neighborhood.
I totally
It really
agree.
could be something special, particularly near the rec center across the street.
I totally agree, sir.
Okay, so I think we're going to have a motion as an order here. Just to let you know that the fellow you're talking to is an architect in the area, Mr. Maskey. So it may behoove you to write that down and maybe give him a call. Maybe he can help you. Right now, we're going to, a motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Moved by Mr. Denk. Muted, Mr. Maskey.
Second.
Mr.
Okay,
Maskey?
second. Okay,
yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman?
Okay, Mr.
Discussion.
Vanover.
Is the appellate still on?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, just to be clear too, I mean, the city's willing to work to get the property restored, but we are not project managers for the project. It begins with you finding a design professional to Mr. Maskey's recommendation, an architect that can spearhead it, and to find qualified contractors and project managers to do it. This is not as he said, not a handyman job. It gets considerably more expensive for the restoration.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not looking to break up. We have a lot of people in 514. If we did finish the docket.
That's great. That's great. But I just want to make sure that as a customer service and as a public servant,
that can happen outside of the hearings. Mr.
is
Chairman,
aware
move on.
of what is happening. So, just to be clear for the record.
Okay, very good. All right, so there was the motion seconded and the vote was taken, correct? And you will be notified within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's me.
All right, the next docket is 8/31/24, 6404 Lorraine Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance issued on January 2nd of 2024. Appeal was received January 2nd of 2024, requesting for 6 months to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Chief Building Official Tom Vanover, Dan Jacobson Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Stephen Trapp. I am the owner of Edifice Properties, the sole owner. I'm also an attorney, but just here on behalf of my business.
Okay, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what the plans are.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, board and commission. So I bought this building with the hopes of renovating it and contributing to the area and the community, and that is still my plan. I recently had architectural plans approved for the entire space that would be commercial downstairs and 2 residential units upstairs. I also had applied for the storefront renovation program going back to 2023. In March of 2023, on March 8th, 2024, I emailed Terry Sandy, my Community Development Corporation head, Chelsea Kovar, and the new Community Development Corporation head, Ethan Wiggins, regarding my storefront renovation program application. I submitted to them all requested documents. They had requested a front elevation drawing, which I obtained from my architect as well. When I received this building violation notice, I was a little confused, as the storefront renovation program had told me I cannot touch the exterior of the building until I'm approved into the program. I had raised that issue briefly with my building inspector, and I filed this appeal. In the meantime, I have tried to work with storefront renovation program. I did not receive a response to my March 8th email or my March 15th email to Ethan Wiggins. I did follow up again 2 weeks ago, and I received a reply that told me the city of Cleveland is no longer doing storefront renovation programs for mixed-use buildings. So I had spent 6 months, time, money, paid architects. I made plans specific to hopefully get accepted. And it was only upon me following up that I was told, you can't do the storefront renovation because your plans are mixed use. So my plan B, which I've had in place, is to have a contractor complete the repairs. I have Ohio North Construction, who has given me a quote on tuck pointing, windows, etc. As you see in the photos, the building is in terrible state. The buildings it's not boarded up. I have properly boarded the front exterior windows. And I have received a quote to perform the tuck pointing. I would like to comply with all repairs. I feel I have the means to do that in short order. I'm disappointed in what happened with the storefront renovation program. Nonetheless, I'm gonna push on and do what I can with my limited resource to develop this project. I have made inquiries to buy the Cary buildings next door as well. I have other people interested in those projects as well, and I'm hopeful to do something great in this area.
How much more time do you need to abate the violations?
Well, I would like to understand exactly what is expected of me.
Yeah, that's not something I think that we can actually help you with on that, and it's something we feel that as the building owner, you should know. But let me go over to Mr. Vanover.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Chairman, my question is the same as yours. What is the ask? The storefront renovation program is a model for funding, and so sometimes funding models fall through, and while unfortunate, it doesn't relinquish, just the responsibility to maintain and to correct the violations. So I'm not sure what the ask is other than if it is more time, how much more time. It appears that there is a permit application that has been submitted, reviewed, and approved. And we would, I don't know if the intention is to go forward and pull that permit and conduct that work. But the expectation is that all of the violations on the notice of violation are repaired, and that the exterior of the structure is renovated to become code compliant.
So once again, sir, the ask is how much time do you think you need, and are you going to go forward with that permit?
Yes, I am going to go forward with the permit as far as the interior, architectural plans being approved. I would ask for 90 days. If you do not entertain 90, I would ask for 60 days. Complete repairs.
Mr. Chairman, we don't object to 90 days.
Okay, so a motion is in order to grant 90 days, November 28th, 2024, to abate the violations. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dink,
Second.
second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket is building docket A 6824, 4501 Bush Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on February 27th of 2024. Appeal was received March 18th of 2024, requesting for 8 months to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Chief Building Official Tom Vanover, Dan Jacobson Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record? To Mr. Chairman, I do not see a Mark Hauser in the participant panel, nor is that person present in room 514 today.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson. No, wait a minute, just a second before we start with that. Mr. Vanover, you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson, proceed.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with the hearing and its ruling today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, this structure was inspected as part of our rental inspection, our rental inspection program. So it is a for-profit rental, and multiple violations exist on this complex. It appears that there's multiple structures connected. We would ask as a for-profit business enterprise that it be remanded to the Department of Building and Housing
Okay.
for further action.
Motion is in order to deny more time and remand the property to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Denk,
Second.
second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you. Building docket A 88-24, 16702 Miles Avenue.
Application and fees are in order.
So-
Notice of violation and exterior maintenance issued on March 19th of 2024. Appeal was received April 17th of 2024, requesting for 90 days to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
This is Maurice Gray, 16702 Mile. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
can we verify that the docket on the screen is Miles and not Loretta? I believe this is.
It is Loretta.
Mr. Chairman, okay.
Okay, so we're going to move to, yes. Well, we handled Loretta, correct?
No.
No, we handled.
The heck were we handling? Okay, so you open that docket first, right?
We're
So-
on document 8424.
Yes, 9705 Loretta Avenue.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, this is Ted Grudonis from Books and Pops LLC. And I also have my contractor, Sam Scaparati, on here. Pardon my voice, I've got pneumonia, so sorry for my voice quality.
Okay, what was your last name again?
Gray Donis.
Gray Donis, okay. Mr. Gray Donis, and I guess you have your contractor on, Scaparati? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Both of you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, who's ever going to be doing the talking here, let us know what the plans are.
So,
Go ahead, Sam.
we submitted the extension a few months back, and then we have gotten all the work done. Actually, the pictures on here show the work completed, so we don't need the extension. I'm not sure why it hasn't been cleared yet, but all of the work has been completed. I have other pictures I can submit as well.
Have you had the inspector out for final inspection?
I spoke to her about 10 days ago, and she said everything looked good. I think it was the permit for the enclosure hadn't been cleared yet, but it was submitted. Everything was done to code. So.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, bear with me. It does appear that there's multiple violations issued. The rental registration requirement has been satisfied. It does appear that the exterior maintenance violation is still open. I'm looking for, the appellant mentioned that there was a permit issued. Can you, do you by any chance have that permit number? Because under this address, I am not showing a open or closed permit.
I do not have the number handy. I can see if I can.
Are there multiple addresses for this property?
There are multiple addresses, yes.
What other addresses would those be?
I don't know them offhand. I can pull that up. Okay, there is 9715.
Okay.
9719.
Okay.
970. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, 970 what?
9701.
Okay.
And then 97.
Bear with me just a moment, please. Okay, Mr. Chairman, yes, so there's an active permit. There's an active permit assigned to Inspector Mladen Medancic for the exterior and interior alteration and the renovation of the apartments and replace the windows, cabinets, vanities, etc. The last inspection note on this says that the project appears done, but has not called for finals. Mr. Chairman, we don't know.
Different permit.
That is a different permit?
Yeah.
So on this one, Mr. Vanover, I'm just showing exterior maintenance.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, yeah, there's multiple permits for roof, for solar arrays, and I'm assuming that the exterior maintenance is tied into the exterior renovation permit. Mr. Chairman, we don't object. We don't object to more time. So for the appellate to make contact with the pertinent inspectors to get the applications finalized, or to get the permits finalized and the violation notices closed. It appears that work is moving. It's just a matter of calling for finals and making sure that the final inspections on whatever's completed is done. So we don't object to 30 days to make sure the finals are inspected with the expectation of no further extensions.
Okay, so that would be September 28th would be 30 days, 2024 to abate the violations with no further extensions. Motion? Oh, go ahead. Hold on, you got your hand up. Go ahead, Mr. Scaparrotti.
So I would just say that the permit was submitted on July 11th for the enclosure, which is, again, all of the work has been completed, and it appears that the permit for the enclosure is still under review. So I'm not sure what else we can do to get them to move things along, but we're ready for any inspection they would need to do to close the permit. But all of the work is completed. I mean, the pictures that we're looking at show that work has been done.
Well, Mr. Scaparrotti, I think what we're doing is we're giving you 30 days to get all this, to just have them come out and just verify it. I mean, basically, you got the time to do it, just do it. They have to come out and verify it.
And Mr. Chairman, I'm not, under those addresses, I'm not showing a permit for an enclosure. So without the permit number, I'm assuming it's under a different address. But
Mr. Chairman, this is Patty, to the appellant or its representative of the contractor, do you have a receipt for your submittal of your permit with any sort of number on it, a B, such and such number? that would help Mr. Vanover be able to find it.
I guess I can look for that and try and provide that.
That would be helpful to the department.
So meanwhile, the 30 days is plenty of time to resolve all this, which would be to get that permit number to them and to have an inspector come out and inspect whatever they need to inspect. Correct?
Yes.
All right. So the motion is to grant the 30 days, which is September 28th, 2024, to abate the violations. Motion
So moved.
moved by Mr. Maschke,
Second.
second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out to you within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket is building docket A 88-24, 16702 Miles Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is hazardous condition issued on April 23rd of 2024. Appeal was received April 29th of 2024, requesting for 6 months to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Billing Official, Dan Jacobs, with the appellate or his or her attorney and or representative, please state your name for the record.
My name is Maurice Graves.
Mr. Gray, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what the plans are.
What my plan was, to the right in that picture, that structure has to be torn down. The demolition crew was coming down in the middle of September. They tore not this structure, but to tear another structure down that was in the view. As he tear that structure down, the demolition crew is gonna come over to this structure. There's a big piece of debris that has to be lifted out with his excavator. And it's gonna, as he's tearing the other building down, a lot of the debris out of this building is gonna go with the demolition of the other building. I have to get the debris out of this building. The architect came out, he said the debris has to be moved out of there where he can do the drawing where I can get a permit. As soon as I can get this guy to come out and tear the other building down, it's like the middle of September. So that's what I was dealing with, while really nothing had been done.
Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, do you own the adjacent building that's coming down?
Yeah, I own both lots. One, the adjacent building is in my son's name, Maurice Hamilton. That building there is Maurice Graves, that's me.
So, Mr. Chairman, records do not show any permits for any proposed activity on the structure. It's obviously hazardous. We don't object to more time, but there needs to be a separate application for permit, even for the partial demolition, in preparation of, in preparation of the new work. So they don't, a work permitted on the adjacent structure needs to be independent of, even how it's contracted is irrelevant to us. But there needs to be another application and permit made to show that this work is taking place and what is going forward.
You said there's an application to be made for what building, the 16702?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, 16702 is the only one that I'm referring to. There's no permit application for that. If I may ask, Mr. Chairman, who is the demolition contractor?
The Mirror, demolition, is the demolition company who's gonna tear that other building down.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, what is the ask?
Mr. Graves, we need to know.
I'm
how
asking,
long-
I'm
how long
asking
you get
for
it.
more time. I'm asking for more time. The middle of September, the guy will be there to tear the other building down. So I'm trying to get both of them to work together. So I'm trying to get at least enough time for him to come out, to get that one tore down, to get the debris out of this one, where the architect can come in and see the drawing.
Well, so you're looking at mid-September in order to abate one of the buildings or?
Right.
Then the problem is the only one before us is the one at 16702 Miles Avenue.
Yeah, I understand. The only thing I said, the only reason I brought that into play is to let you know what happened to all the time that you guys had gave me.
Okay, so, and as far as getting the architectural drawings done, stuff like that, what we're really looking for is that if you are getting rid of this violation by demolition, is
No,
that correct?
there's debris that you can't see that's in the building that's keeping the architect out while he can't get in there and do his drawings. So I mentioned the other building to let you know I'm trying to get this to work all together at the same time, and that will let me move forward.
All right, so.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Mr. Vanover.
we don't object to September 11th of 2024 to make application and obtain the permits required for the interior demolition of this building. And 9/25 to abate the hazardous condition. So that's 2 weeks to get the permit for this, and then based on the appellate's schedule, another 2 weeks to abate the hazardous condition, and then make application for the permits for the rebuild.
Okay, so the motion is in order to give to September 11th to obtain the permits required to do the demolition or to abate the violation, and to September 25th, 2024, to abate the violation and apply for the permits for whatever work is remaining, correct?
Correct.
Okay, motion is in order?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Nate,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, next docket is a housing docket 8/21/24, 4617 Woburn Avenue.
Application and fee are in order. Notice of violation is hazardous conditions issued on January 16, 2024. Appeal was received February 1st of 2024. Appellant did not request any time for abatement. Present for today's hearing, Chief Building Official Tom Vanover, Dan Jacobson Law. To the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative, please state your name for the record.
That's wrong.
Okay, Mr. Passarello, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? You have an affirmative on that?
He didn't hear you, Mr. President. I have to speak a little louder.
Yes, I do.
Okay, very good. All right, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
I have, that has been deteriorating, for about a year now, and, I went through community housing services, and then that wasn't enough money, so they sent me to this online class for additional funds. That's community housing solutions also. And altogether, I got, up to $18,000. I just want to know I mean, I'm sure you can't answer it, but they need to get out and I'm waiting for them to fix it. I've been approved. So repairs for that. I guess I need time.
How much time?
I originally asked for 6 months, but it's been a while. It's Cleveland Housing Solutions. They said, you know, when I show them this, I'm not even sure if I need to sign this or not. But work ahead that says they're gonna do the work.
One second. Mr. Vanover,
Yes, ma'am.
you got construction going on in your background?
Not in mine.
Okay.
We're getting a lot of feedback in the room, Mr. Chairman, that's why she asked.
I think it's the roof over 514.
No doubt.
Okay. We try to close the whole I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Vanover.
to the appellate, it appears that there's been a permit application made by ABA Builders.
Yes.
Are they working, is that the contractor with Cleveland Housing Solutions?
No, they have not yet.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, did you choose this contractor or did Cleveland Housing Solutions?
Cleveland Housing Solutions.
So, Mr. Chairman, there's an active application for senior initiative. There's an active application for, apparently with Cleveland Housing Solutions. They've made application to make the repairs. We don't object to, based on the condition of the property, based on the owner occupancy, we don't object to 90 days to abate the nuisance. At that point, remand it to the Department of Building and Housing to work with the senior initiative to come to a conclusion.
Of ABA or CHS?
Mr. Chairman, I believe they're working together, are they not?
Okay.
Okay, it is a hazardous condition, no doubt. Okay, well, motion is in order to grant to November 28th, 90 days, 2024 to abate the violation. And then at that point, we will be remanding it back to the city, to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next housing docket A 65-24, 13701 West Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is condemnation of the garage issued on February 20th of 2024. Appeal was received March 19th of 2024. Requesting for 6 months to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson Law. Would the appellate or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
I'm Lucinda Reese. I am the owner of the residence.
Okay, Ms. Reese, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I tell the truth.
Okay, let us know what the plans are.
I had to get the funds in order. I do have about I guess about $3,000 saved up for the time, and then I was going to try to get it tore down and build a garage, but it looks like with the cost of getting estimates and everything, that it's just going to be probably a demo.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, do you live in this structure?
Yes, I do. I've lived in there since 2007, July of 2007, when I purchased the house.
Mr. Vanover, I think this might just be the condemnation of the garage. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Bear with me, yeah, that's what they, yes, Mr. Chairman, that is the violation notice. Before us, Mr. Chairman, we do not object to 120 days to abate the violation.
Okay, motion is in order for December 28th, 120 days, 2024 to abate the violation. Motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Maskey,
Second.
second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Housing docket A 66-24, 12413-15 Gross Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance. Issued on February 28th of 2024. Appeal was received March 22nd of 2024. Applicant did not request any time for abatement. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson Law. With the applicant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Peggy Henderson.
Mr. Chairman, I do not see Peggy Henderson in the participant panel, nor is that person present in room 514 today.
Okay, Mr. Vanover, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair, Mr. Jacobson, no.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
Through the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with the hearing and its ruling today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, this is a rental property that appears to have sustained fire damage. It is owned by a trust, we would ask that you deny any more time and remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing.
Okay, a motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Mr. Denk? Second by
Second.
Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Okay, housing docket A 67-24, 2107 West 78th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is fire damage and condemnation of the shed. Issued on February 13th of 2024. Appeal was received March 14th of 2024, requesting for 90 days to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Chief Building Official Tom Vanover, Dan Jacobs Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record. Mr. Chairman, I do not see Sarah Rodriguez in the participant panel, nor if that person is in 514 today.
Okay. Mr. Vanover, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
And Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
Through the chairman and Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, there are multiple notices of violation on this property. It's not apparent whether it's owner occupied or whether it's a rental property. There's fire damage with no permits to correct. There's a roof illegally attached to the side of the building. We ask that you deny and remand it to the Department of Building and Housing.
A motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Denk and second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Deep,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Okay, next docket is housing docket A 6924, 6811 Bona Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on February 12th of 2024. Appeal was received March 25th of 2024, requesting for 60 days complete abatement of the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Billing Official, Dan Jacobson Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative, please state your name for the record.
Yes, my name is Evan Frierson.
Okay, Mr. Frierson, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Yes, so I bought this property, I believe we closed on this property November 2nd of 2023. When we closed on this property, I flew in, I met with a contractor by the name of Gill Home Improvement. We signed a contract to start renovations on this property. With that contract, the property was supposed to be completed for renovations December 18th, 2023. During that time, I knew that he was behind schedule. And I knew that he got back into the property to start working in January because he asked me to turn the heat on. During that time when the heat was turned on and everything, I still proceeded to wait for the renovations to get done. And then I would say I received the notice and I spoke to the building inspector in February. When I spoke to the building inspector in February, I flew out to Cleveland to meet with him, and my contractor was also present with me at this time. At this time, I still was having trouble to get him to perform the work. I gave him until about, I want to say, when I asked for the 60 days, I thought we would be done by then. I gave him until, I would say, May to get everything done. He still didn't get everything done, basically. Took the money. Since then, I have hired a new contractor, and we have corrected building issues with inside that they asked for us to fix. As far as the interior, at this time, I would say I need about 30 to 45 more days to get everything situated. Just because I haven't been out to Cleveland yet, and I would like to get out there and make sure that everything's done before I ask for an inspector to come out and give us a clean bill of health.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, we don't object to 30 days to make the correction. And I would ask that the inspector be called to inspect the work that has progressed already, because there's multiple no progress inspection records on this. But 30 days with no further extensions. This is a corporate, commercial property, commercial investment. One of the responsibilities when you invest in property outside, where you don't live, is that there's somebody responsible to maintain it and take care of it.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, question to the appellant. The property is owned by Prestige Capital Ventures LLC. The appellant representative didn't mention his affiliation to that entity.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm the owner.
And through the chairman to the appellant, is the business Prestige Capital Ventures LLC registered in the state of Ohio?
Yes.
Okay, could you forward that information to the board?
Yes, I will. Is there an email that I will send that to?
Yes, the same email. Under what name are you registered?
It should be Prestige Capital Ventures.
Okay. And through the board to Ms. Davis, did Mr. Is it Frierson?
Yes, sir.
Provide any authorization to act on behalf of the LLC?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, the board is in receipt of an operating agreement of Prestige Capital LLC naming Mr. Evan, is that his first or last name?
That's my first name.
As part owner of this company, we can get you a copy of this.
Thank you. I just wanted that clarification. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Motion is in order to grant till September 28, 30 days, 2024 to evade violations. Motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Maskey.
Second.
Second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes.
What was that date, September 28th, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, it's September 28, 2024. Okay, next docket is 87024 15616 Park Grove Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is condemnation of the garage and the main structure. Issued March 1st, 2024. Appeal was received March 25th of 2024, requesting for 12 months complete abatement. Present for today's hearing, Chief Building Official Tom Vanover, and Jacobson Law. With the appellate or his or her attorney and or representative, please state your name for the record. Mr. Chairman, we do not have a Gwendolyn Griffin in the participant panel or online or in room 514 today.
Okay, Mr. Vanover, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, the notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email or voice message or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
Through the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, this is a condemnation of the main structure and the garage, and for a notice of violation that was initially issued in March. The request was for 12 months, but now some 5.5 months in, there have been no permit applications made or any indication that any work has been done or plans to be done on this property. As such, we would ask that you deny any more time, uphold the notice of violation as properly issued, and remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing.
Okay, so looking at the photographic evidence, we uphold the violation, and a motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property division of building and housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Denk,
Second.
second by Mr. Maskey. I guess I got them backwards. Okay.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dane,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you. All right, housing docket A 7324 12520 Park Hill Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is condemnation of the main structure and the garage. Issued on March 8th of 2024. Appeal was received April 1st of 2024. Requesting for 180 days to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing. Andrew Reed. Present. And, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, and Jacobson Law. Will the appellant and/or will the appellant and/or its representative please state your name for the record?
Hi, I'm the owner, Delroy Reed.
Okay. You're the only one giving testimony, Mr. Reed?
No, I got my nephew with me and my sister with me.
Andrew Reed.
Okay, all right, so for the, whoever's giving testimony, or both of you, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Hey, good morning, Chairman, to the board. My name is Nicholas Reed. With me, I have a notarized letter from my uncle and my mother. He's just stating I can speak on his behalf regarding the property. So I just wanted to present that to you guys first. Concerning this property, so in November of 2023, this property, we had to get it off the sheriff's auction, the foreclosure, and we were able to do that. Upon doing that, we went and visited the property, and we noticed it was a condemnation notice on the main structure and the garage. So I then began to come up here to the housing and building department, and I spoke with Mr. Alex, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he was the manager of the Demolition Bureau Department of Building and Housing. I was just trying to get some information on why the structure was condemned and the necessary steps to take to get it off the condemned list and just to begin work on the house, period. We contacted the inspector, Mr. Dvorak, at the time. We emailed him, called him, voicemails, all that. Understanding, because in his system, at the time, he was stating only the garage was listed as condemned and not the main structure, so it was just a little bit confusion. So we made an effort to try to get some understanding with that. Well, nothing happened there. So I just began to come up here and try to take the necessary steps, get the permits, get all the information like the site plan, and all that to the department to begin work on the property. And then I ended up filing an appeal with my uncle. We came up here and filed an appeal to just put a stop till we got some clarity as to how to go about this. Do intend to fully rehab the property. We have the means to fully rehab it, renovate it fully. I just need more time. We are in the process of my uncle transferring the deeds. So he has no, not involvement, but no, I can just handle it without him being on the team with everything. My mother as well. So we were just asking for more time to fully pull the permits. I didn't know it was condemned. We didn't know it was condemned. We just thought if we stopped the foreclosure, we could begin fixing it up. We weren't aware. So we just were asking for time, possibly pull the necessary permits, fix all the violations, and just get the house back fully. It's living it. This house, I grew up in this house personally. I watched my uncle, my grandmother, my mother get up from work and pay the mortgage on the house, pay it fully. You know what I mean? So I have a personal attachment to this property. I do have the means to fully rehab the structure. I just would like more time to check so I can take the necessary steps to do that.
How much more time do you need?
I asked for 180 days, but I don't want to. I don't know if I can get it done in that time. So I'm asking for a year. But if granted the 180 days, I will make that work. Make that work.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, what is the expectation of the property once you've completed the rehab?
I can live in it. I don't know. I have a sister here. My grandmother, when she was passing away, she always wanted to make sure she has somewhere where she can lay her head and nobody can. She has autism. She has special needs. Where she can lay her head and not be a bother to anybody. That was one of her final wishes. And like I said, this is a personal, I have a personal attachment to this property. I grew up in this house. All of my cousins grew up in this house. This was the first house I want to say my family had. My family is Jamaican, so they came here. This is the first something they own. So I really don't want it. See it just demolished, especially when we have the means to handle it. I know that whole area is getting like a whole redo. Just driving throughout the neighborhood I grew up in, they're doing everything over.
So, Mr.
I want to be a part of that.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt. So the expectation is that either you or your sister will be the occupants of this house. Mr. Chairman, we don't object to 30 days to acquire all the permits for the rehab and 180 days under the Residential Code of Ohio to complete the renovation.
Okay, so we're looking at September 28th, 2024. That's 30 days to acquire all the permits necessary. And to December 28th, 120 days, 2024 to abate the violations. Motion?
Moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Maskey.
Second.
Second by Mr. Dink.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Next, housing docket A 7424, 3287 West 84th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is condemnation of the garage and of the main structure. Issued on November 22nd of 2023. Appeal was received April 2nd of 2024, requested for 1 year to complete abatement of the violation.
The one? Well, you said you submitted it as evidence to the board.
make sure that's addressed.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the record. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, I just want to make sure this is the right place.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, they had a question.
Requested 1 year to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Tom Beno, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson Law. Will the appellate or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
Lance Moore.
Sorry, you were not.
All I caught was Lance Morgan out of that.
I'm a representative for the owner.
Okay, all right.
Good morning, members of the board.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I
I
do.
do.
Okay, go
Mr.
ahead.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman, this is Patty. Does Mr. Morgan have authority? Did he submit authority to the board?
To the chair, to Mr.
It's okay.
To the chair. No, we do not have any authorization for Lance Morgan to speak on behalf of the owner.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is Patty again. You most certainly can hear this, but any of the matter, he has to provide such authorization, otherwise he does not have any right to appear before this board.
Okay, is Mr. Wilson there?
Mr. Wilson is currently not. He is out of the country and won't be available for a few weeks to a month, 30 days. He did provide me with a power of attorney, but I do not currently have it with me.
Mr. Chairman, you can provide that to the
Right.
board.
You have
Thank
to
you.
get that over to the board, and we'll go ahead and hear your testimony. Go ahead, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, sir. To be honest, in all honesty and actuality, I'm not condemned. I believe he's trying to get the condemnation removed. He purchased a property from the previous owner. Well, we've since been in, cleaned up the entire property, did quite a bit of extensive work there. The property's been secured, all boarded up, and we're in the process of rehabbing the property.
Okay, so it's the garage and, yes, the whole total property.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the roof's been rebuilt and a new roof put on it. It's secure, watertight.
Okay, how much more time?
6 months, 90 days. I'm just waiting for Mr. Wilson to come back into town.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, our records indicate there are no permits for this property for any of the work that has been done. It's obviously condemnable, so any objection to the condemnation notice is, it's clear that the property is condemnable. There was an application
If I may, I'd
made
have to
in
disagree.
April.
Sir,
For-
sir, if you can let him finish. It's
Yes,
his
I'm
turn.
sorry. I apologize.
Go ahead, Mr. Vanover.
So an application was made in April, an adjudication order was sent to the applicant requiring more information, requiring more details, structural information, which that adjudication order has not been responded to. So I would state that any work that has been done on this property has been done without a permit and without approval. And there is a requirement for permits to do this work. It's pretty substantial, and based on testimony, we would ask that you deny more time and remand it back to the department, understanding that if the requirements of the building permit are satisfied, then the Residential Code of Ohio will take precedent.
Okay, so what we have then is a motion is in order to deny more time and remand the property to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action, which means that you can still, move forward and get everything done, as Mr. Vanover said, that the state of Ohio, the building code to take over on the time and to complete and abate the violations. The motion is in order to deny more time.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Denk,
Second.
second by Mr. Maskey.
Discussion?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, this is Patty, was Mr. Morgan saying he objected to the condemnation when he interrupted Mr. Vanover? I just want to make clear, if he's objecting, this board needs to make a meeting.
Absolutely, absolutely. The property is
Okay.
good, solid, sound construction.
Okay, so, Mr. Chairman, the definition of condemnation is unfit for human habitation by code. The board can see that it needs to make a determination based upon that objection. The photographs on the screen can assist the board in that determination. Thank you, sir.
Okay, based on the video evidence, to me anyways, it is absolutely condemnable, but I will ask the other two board members if you agree.
I concur.
Okay, Mr. Denk?
I do also.
Okay, so all three of us concur that the property is definitely condemnable.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. Are we proceeding on then with the motion?
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Nate,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I need 3 minutes.
Take a moment. She needs a break. She needs just a minute.
Yeah, you betcha. Okay.
May I ask you a question? Am I still available?
Well, while we're on break,
I appreciate it. I've never attended such a situation. I do apologize to the members of the board. I just want to make sure the property's not going to be torn down because, as I said, that the roof's been repaired. We need to obtain permits, but Mr. Wilson's currently out of town. I'm waiting for him to get back into the country. But we extensive work there. You know, the roof, it's got a brand new roof on it, new rafters, new sheathing. I just don't want the property to be demolished while he's out of town.
Okay, the main thing is to get the permits going, and if you get your permission on all this and send in, that you'll go ahead and abate the condemnation order. So you need to get that done, and if I'm not saying this correctly, Mr. Vanover, you can correct me, but that's the way to stop it, okay, is to get that permit pulled on it.
Right, yeah. We did attempt to get the permits, and then they came back, they needed architectural drawings, and Mr. Wilson was called out of the country. And he provided me with a permit because he knew this was coming up. I'm not fully aware of everything that's going on, so I'm just trying to help Mr. Wilson.
I got you.
But he does have plans and the availability to completely improve
Mr. Chairman, similar to the other one, this was concluded. This should not be continuing.
Right, and it's just basically, we're not doing anything else.
Yeah, it's, you've taken more testimony that you shouldn't be.
Okay, all right, enough said.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
I really think that is the roof. I think Tom is correct, that we're getting all sorts of sounds in here. You hear that online as well, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is the roof work in the city hall.
Oh, wow. Well, we'll put up with it, I guess, right?
Okay, Mr. Chair.
We're back, okay. Housing docket A 7524-1845 West 52nd Street.
Application and fees are reported. Notice of violation is condemnation of the shed, the garage, and of the main structure. Issued March 12th of 2024. Appeal was received April 2nd of 2024, requesting for 6 months to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson Law. Would the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative say please explain for the record?
Everybody, Mr. Chairman, I am Walter Landell, Trust.
Okay, Mr. Lendo, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
My name is Walter Landell.
Okay. And let us know what your plans are.
Yes. Look, first, let's ask you something on my behalf. To my brother, he is Myron Landell, trustee. So he can continue and speak on my behalf.
Second, Mr. Vanover, could you please mute your mic until it's time for you to speak? We get a lot of feedback. You're gonna keep lighting up every time it comes up. Thank you.
Okay, there was someone else who's going to speak on your behalf, Mr. Lendl?
Yes,
Okay, who's his name?
Mayor Landell, trustee,
Okay.
my brother.
That's your brother. Okay, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed. Let us know what your plans are.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for boards. So the property was purchased in very bad condition with a goal to full renovation. And actually, before COVID situation, the property, the work has been done inside of the property to start renovation. As far as the whole interior was gutted, all to start all electrical, drywall, all this necessary plumbing. COVID years messed up all plans, and last year we ran a lot of contractor scams, which we were attempted to hire to do this work. Finally, we have lined up the contractors, and we're ready to start all this remodeling and renovation work in the beginning of this year. But unfortunately, we got condemnation notice, I believe, was on April 12th. No, March 12th, I'm sorry. So we went to the building department to get permits to start another work and reorganize because we were told to wait until appeal hearing decision. And so we are here today, and we are ready to start this work at any time. We already have contractors waiting. So we have enough funds, so we would like to start this work as soon as possible because the winter is approaching definitely.
How much time do you think you need?
If you appreciate if you let us to give us a time of 6 months.
Okay,
Is that possible? Maybe even couple months more. I don't know. It's up to you. I'm asking.
okay.
I appreciate your time.
All right, let me go over to Mr. Vanover and now that we know your ask and see what he has to say. Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, I would ask, and I apologize, if you've said this already, when did the appellant take possession of this property?
So you're asking me
Yes, if you have the answer.
before COVID, so like here before COVID, I believe. So that's why before COVID, all this interior job, cutting all interior, throwing everything away because house was full of stuff. Absolutely, it was disgusting. So again, when COVID approached so we had to stop all this work because no one even was willing to come forward because COVID situation.
Okay, did you catch the date, Mr. Vanover?
I did not.
Okay, what he's looking for is the date you took possession. Do you know that, Mr. Lendl?
Pardon
When,
Go ahead.
what date did you take possession of the property? They can't hear you. Do you know when you took possession?
I believe like,
Mr. Chairman,
I believe like, I don't
Mr.
have.
Chairman, the county records state August 19th of 2020.
Something like that, right before COVID.
He says right before COVID.
Right before COVID, like, I believe 19.
Oh, you've had it for a couple of years.
Like 19, I believe, 2019, before COVID hit us.
Okay, Mr. Vanover?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this is a property. It's owned in the name of a trust. It's a So, I mean, it's not privately owned. It doesn't appear that it does not appear that there's an expectation that this is going to be an owner occupied structure. We don't object to more time, but I believe that 180 days would be the max. We don't object to 30 days for permits and then 180 days to correct the condemnation with no further extensions.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. So a motion is in order September,
Yeah,
Sorry,
pardon me?
there we go.
we have, council representation with their hand
Oh,
up.
okay. Ms. Lazar?
Thank you, Secretary Davis and Chair Gallagher. The council office is in full opposition of any additional time for Mr. Lendl. He has owned the property since August 19th of 2020. And back in May, on May 3rd, 2023, Inspector Dedick sent me an email regarding one of his violations. And the email reads, I was there Friday and performed a visual inspection. I did notice that the exterior is in rough shape. I called the homeowner and he agreed that he would start to remedy the exterior immediately. And that has not been done. Also, a letter was submitted from 7 residents at 5 addresses within a very active block club for the area, objecting to time. If you don't have that letter in your records, I would be happy to read it for you. It is very brief, but it states that the first contacts were made with the council office back on August 19th of 2022. So for almost 2 years, actually over 2 years, we have been working on this property with building and housing. And the block club states for over 2 years, the property has been unsafe and eyesore and worrisome for the neighborhood. Concerns include broken glass, deteriorating chipping paint, failing gutters, feral cats, vermin living on the property, high grass and weeds, as you can see in the pictures, spilling onto the sidewalks, making it difficult to walk by. Animals have been living in the house for years. I do not feel that it is safe for my 2 young daughters to play in our own front yard with this house in its current condition. They live a couple of doors down. They are requesting that the Board of Building Standards and Building Appeals does not grant owner Vladimir Lendl additional time to correct his 3 violations. And they are actually requesting that the property, the condemned property, be demolished with no rights to appeal.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Mr. Vanover, anything change?
Well, Mr. Chairman, with that further information, if it's remanded to the Department of Building and Housing, it still does not prohibit the owner's right to get permits and renovate the property, providing they continue to do so. So that being said, we would ask that you deny any more time and remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing.
I do agree.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
The owner wants to give more testimony.
okay. Go ahead, Mr. Lendl.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mrs. Lazar mentioned just right now that she called Walter Lendl back in August 2022, correct? Mr. Lazar, is that correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Mr. Lendl?
You just mentioned now that you called the owner with the notice.
No,
With the notice.
no, that was actually the
I'm sorry.
Inspector Dedick reported that to me. Inspector Dedick sent me an email indicating that he had spoken with you.
But you mentioned you spoke to Walter in August 2022. Correct?
That is incorrect.
No. I just would like to add to this that in 2022 and following part of the 23, Walter had life-threatening health situation and he has spent a lot of time, couple times, not only one time, couple times, in that rehabilitation center. And he has the proof
I'm very sorry for that. We would very much like to see this property
I know,
remanded to
no.
Building and Housing so that it can be repaired and be an asset for the community. And if that does not happen, then to proceed with prosecution.
Okay.
That's
Mr.
why we
Lendl?
would like, sorry.
Mr. Lendl, because of the time issue and all the rest of it, the board is going to move a motion as in order to deny more time, remand the property Division of Building and Housing for any further action. That does not stop you, as Mr. Vanover said, from going out, getting your permits and doing the work on the property, okay? But looking at the time frame, that's the motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Maskey,
Second.
second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Nate,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. To all.
No, they denied your time and remanded it. You can still go and make application for permits for it, is what they said. So I cannot continue, they're still doing hearing, so you're gonna have to deal with the permit issue.
Okay, so thank you.
You were given no time. No time. They remanded it to the building department, but you are still allowed to get permits
Yes.
to do the work. You need to stop. I cannot continue talking with you. We're in the middle of hearings. Thank you.
Okay, next docket is A 78-24 14209 Carrydale Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance issued on January 25th of 2024. Appeal was received February 26th of 2024, requesting for 90 days to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Chief Building Official Tom Vanover and Jacobson Law. Will the appellate or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Hi, this is Kyle Dixon, and I'm the owner.
Okay, Mr. Dixon, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Yeah, so I'm requesting an additional 90 days to complete the abatement of the violations. So this property was, I'm the owner. This was a rental property. I had a tenant that did extensive damage to the property, to the exterior. The majority of that work has been completed. The hesitation there between now and today. So I'm a recently retired service member. I retired on the August 3rd of this year. So now I've really engaged in getting the property completed. But I do have a contractor that I've contracted with to complete the work. There was some junk and trash. All that's been removed. Like even from the pictures here, like the front porch is completely redone, and things. So I'm just requesting additional time.
You were looking for an additional 90 days.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
He's muted.
You're muted, Mr. Vanover.
Oh, sorry, apologies. Yes, Mr. Chairman, that it appears that we did receive a complaint on this property in 22, was inspected as part of our systematic code enforcement program. We do not object to 90 days to correct the remaining violations, with the expectation that there is communication with the inspector so that the inspector can identify what has been completed.
Okay. Motion is in order for November 28th, 90 days, 2024 to abate the violations. Also, that you stay in contact. Okay.
That's not a problem. I can do that.
Okay, very good.
Moved.
All right, moved by Mr. Maskey.
Second.
Second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, the notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Docket A 7924, 732 East 163rd Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance. Issued on October 4th of 2023. Appeal was received April 10th of 2024. Applicant was requesting 3 to 6 months to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, and Jacobson Law. You're the owner or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Willie Gibson.
Mr. Gibson, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Like you said at the beginning, she said like the violations came in 2023 in October. I didn't own the property then. I got the property in December and did not know anything about the violations. But I have, once they got in touch with me, I guess they had to go through all the little mail to find out who's the new owner and get it to me. That's me in the picture. I have did the majority of all of the work that they had on there. Like you can see, they had the garage. I have redid the garage. I put new windows in the garage. I put a new roof on the garage. There's a brand new driveway. They had chips all in the driveway. I had the whole driveway removed because they said repair it. I didn't want to repair it, and then they want me to repair more. So I just did a whole new driveway. So everything is almost finished. This is gonna be I'm living in this house. I'm gonna live here. This is not a rental property. So I will be living in this house. I was there the other day doing some work and an inspector pulled up. That's some pictures that you see. She just took them pictures when I was there. She told me when I come here to ask for more time.
Okay, how much more time do you think you need?
Well, realistically, they're outside repairs, so they gotta be done before the winter. So if you say like 4 months, just to be safe, but it'll be done before, because you know the weather, we can't do no outside repairs, so it'll be done before the weather break.
Mr. Vanover. You're probably muted, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, Mr. Chairman, there is a permit for this application, and it appears that the work has been ongoing as work in progress. We don't object to 90 days to complete the repairs needed.
Okay, that would be the end of November for you. After that, the weather could be starting to get bad. So November 28th, 90 days, 2024 to abate the violations. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Baschke,
Second.
second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Notice will be sent out within 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket, 80-24, 3282 West 38th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Note the violation is a stop work order and no permit. Issued on March 27th of 2024. Appeal was received April 11th of 2024, requesting for 12 months to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellate or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record? Mr. Chairman, I do not see an Asher Heights LLC in the participant panel.
And
Or
they're
no
not-
one in the room today.
Okay, nobody's there either. Okay. All right, Mr. Vanover, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with its hearing and ruling. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, you can see the work done without a permit on the property. Is apparent in these photos. We ask that you uphold the notices as properly issued. There was a certificate of disclosure on this property in June, indicating that the property has been sold or is for sale. We would ask that you deny any more time, remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing for further action.
Okay, we uphold the violations found by the city, and motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property Division of Building and Housing and any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Denk, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice to be sent out within 2 weeks. Docket A 8224, 1933 Mayview Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is writ of registration issued on March 15th of 2024. Appeal was received April 11th of 2024, requesting for 6 months. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative, please state your name for the record. Mr. Chairman, I do not see a Daniel Cutliff in the participant panel, nor is that person in room 514.
Okay, Mr. Vanover, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing be returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of the appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
Through the chairman, the due process requirement of notice have been given to this appellant. The board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, bear with me for a moment. Yes, so Mr. Chairman, the violation notice before us is for failure to register a rental property. Our records do not indicate that the rental registration has been applied for or obtained. I would ask that you, as you're aware, all rental property in the city of Cleveland are required to be registered with the city of Cleveland as such. And prior to their rental, we ask that you deny any more time and remand it back to the department.
Okay, so prior to renting the property, a motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property to Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Maskey,
Second.
second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Next docket is a permit extension on housing, docket A 71-24, 867 East 141st Street.
Application and fees are in order. This is the permit extension request for permit number B 230-12620. Issued on July 11th of 2023. Inspection date was on March 14th of 2024. The applicant is requesting for additional year underneath that permit number. Present for today's hearing, Chief Building Official, Tom Vanover, Dan Jacobson, Law. With the owner or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Sheila Davis.
Ms. Davis, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are here. What you're asking.
I finished most of the work. I passed my plumbing, I passed my HVAC. The only thing I need to do is smoke detectors, hardwire the smoke detectors, and clean up outside.
Okay, and that's the extent of what's necessary at this point?
From what I know, yes.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, the last inspection on this property was March 22nd of this year, with the inspector's note saying that there has been progress made, but there still needs to be paint on the outside and some minor repairs as such, and that the applicant was waiting for the weather to break. It does appear that this property is close, but at this point, it's still, the work has been abandoned. We don't object to an extension of 60 days with no further extensions.
Okay, so you're gonna get to 60 days, October 28th, 2024, to abate all the violations with no further extensions. Motion?
Sir, excuse me,
Yes.
I would ask, in order to do a good job, I would ask for 6 months, because the hardwire smoke detector, that's gonna be that's manageable. But the outside, that's gonna be I'm gonna need a little bit more time to finish all the work outside.
Did you realize where 6 months puts you into February? You're not gonna be doing any work possibly, after November, so it doesn't.
Okay, well, can I ask for 90 days? Because you're right. You're not gonna be able to do any work beyond, I say, Thanksgiving.
Okay, all right. We'll
Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead, Mr.
I
Vanover.
would like to indicate that this, the condemnation on this property is, bear with me, it goes back considerable amount of time. There's been 3 sets of permits pulled on this condemnation. And the previous set were pulled by, excuse me, were pulled by Ms. Davis. So I think 60 days is reasonable. At this point, it's been all summer. It's been multiple permits pulled. So we would ask for no more than 60 days.
My question is, if I'm not able to complete all the work within those 60 days, what is the next step?
Well, we're gonna try to have Mr. Vanover answer that. I don't know. You've run out of time. You just keep going until you get it fixed. So we're gonna give you the 60 days, get working on it, get it done, and you're just gonna continue till you get it done, and you maybe end up with another violation notice, but that's what the plan is. You've got to get it done, and you'll keep working on it until you get it done. So motion is to October 28th, 60 days, 2024, to abate the violations. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, a move by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you. Okay, we got permit extension housing docket A, 8524, 12413 Chesterfield Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of, this is a permit extension request. under two permits. The first one is H 190021111 and B 1900284. Issued on January 15th of 2019. Inspection date was April 12th of 2024. The applicant was asking for an additional 60 days under these permits. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the owner or his or her appellate, will the owner or his or her attorney or authorized agent, please state your name for the record. Mr. Chairman, I do not see a Paul Merrick in a participant panel, nor is that person in room 514 today.
Okay, Mr. Vanover solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, this is a permit from 2019 on a condemned property. There's been no further inspections or no indication of work attempting to be transpired. The expectation, the applicant rather, asked for another 60 days. This letter would have went out in April of 24. That 60 days is long expired. If they were going to do it, they should have or could have. We ask that you deny any more time and remand it.
Motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property to Division of Building Housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
A move by Mr. Dink,
Second.
second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Time extension housing docket A 6424-18520 Chickasaw Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. This is a time extension underneath the original docket of A 133-23 for exterior maintenance that was issued on June 12th of 2023. Applicant is requesting for an additional year to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vandover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Would the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record? You have to unmute yourself, Maya. Yeah, accidentally left the call, maybe she's about to log back in.
Mr. Chairman, it appears the appellant trying to unmute herself, might have accidentally left. She's been online the whole time.
Okay, do we want to move on to the next case and wait?
Come back. Yeah, it looks like the next docket is also online.
Okay, all right, so we can move on to docket E 77-24, 2407 Colburn Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. This is a time extension for a notice of a violation of fire damage. The original docket was A 229-23. Which the board granted the appellant until to April 5th of 2024 to complete abatement of the violations. Applicant is requesting 180 days additional to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. With the appellate or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Clint.
Okay, Mr. Straub, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, what is, let us know what these plans are here.
So what happened was we pulled the permit on April 15th, finally when I got the money. Contracted Ernest Minor of Minor and Associates. They started the work and then they disappeared on us. So I'm gonna have to get a new contractor to complete the work.
Okay, how much time do you think you need?
Yeah, I'll definitely need the 180. Because I still have to back now from the other contractor or from the insurance company.
Okay, Mr. Vanover. You might be muted, Mr. Vanover.
I'm sorry, bear with me for just a second. I was actually looking.
Okay.
It does appear that there's an active building permit. Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, is your testimony said that the contractor is no longer working on the project?
That's correct. I'm gonna have to get a new contractor now.
Okay.
He's not answering any of our phone calls, emails. My property manager been trying to get in touch with him and to no avail.
So, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, when did you take possession of this property?
I believe it was 2019 I bought the property. No, 2018.
Mr. Chairman, we object to 180 days. This appears to be an investment property. And Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, do you have a local agent in charge who monitors your property?
Yeah. B2B Realty.
Say that again, please.
The name of the company is B2B Realty.
Was this fire damage, Mr. Vanover? Yeah, that's what it looks like. This one's fire.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I apologize. I'm having trouble finding the violation notice. Ms. Davis, for the record, do you have the violation notice number?
I did.
Violation number is V as in Victor, 230-19318.
Oh, thank you. For the record, yeah, the violation notice is issued under 2409 Colburn. So, Mr. Chairman, the notice of violation was issued and posted August of last year. We are now a year into the repairs of this fire damaged property. We'd love to see it repaired. I understand there's contractor issues, but this is unfortunately one of the things that one has to negotiate with for-profit investment property. We would ask for no more than 90 days to complete the abatement of the violations to get this out of the neighborhood.
Okay, I know he probably had problems with the insurance companies too also. So you got like another party involved in that. Well, the work has got to be done before the snow flies, that's for sure. So I'll tell you what, December 28th, 120 days, 2024 to abate the violations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Denk, second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks.
Thank you so much.
Did we get a Miss Endolsik? Did we get her back?
Yes, she's back on. I don't know if she's able to unmute herself. Ms. Endolsik, can you hear us?
She's still marked as muted, Mr. Chairman. Can you unmute?
Maybe she should come in.
That might be the only other option. She will.
Yeah. You can maybe reschedule her, have her come in, or get someone on there.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello?
Oh, there you go. She got it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
So,
Gonna call, he's gonna reopen the docket.
Chair, we'll reopen the docket. This is docket 6424 18520 Chickasaw Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. This is a time extension request for additional time underneath docket A 13323. At the time, the board granted the appellant until April 5th of 2024 to complete abatement of the violations. The appellant is requesting for additional 1 year to complete the abatement. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Billing Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Would the applicant please state your name for the record?
Moya Endolsik.
Okay, Ms. Endolsik, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your ask is.
I have had a substantial problem with this property. I am really trying and I'm determined. I'm willing to do the work. It's just that I've gone through Department of Aging. They took their time, and every single time, I don't understand why they have these programs. I was not able to get any help from anybody. I have tried for over a year, talked to councilmen, Northeast Shore. I was promised all kinds of stuff, and then they ignore me and don't answer the phone. I don't know why. I have been really trying. Property was in the estate, and the person handling the estate is just wrecking everything. There was plenty of money to fix 10 of these properties. I can't touch my own money. And I finally realized that I'm not going to get any help from anybody. So I've tried to get a job, and I finally did find something. Now I've saved up some money, but it's not enough. I need more money. and I would be willing to do it now because I found a job and I can start doing the repairs.
Okay,
I just need more time. I haven't even started because I've been going through all these programs. I was promised some kind of something, but nothing was nothing. It's always with the Department of Aging or any kind of program, I'm always late. That's not true. I always file on time. I do everything they ask me, and then nothing happens. I don't understand why all these programs, should be out there to help people like me. I need help, and I'm just not
do you live
getting it.
there, Miss Andolsik? Do you live there in the property?
Not right now, no.
Okay, so you rent the properties?
Excuse me?
Do you rent these properties? It says it's a two-family.
No, no, I don't.
You don't, okay. All right, let's go over to Mr. Vanovers.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is a property that our records indicate that Ms. Dolchek lives at 853 East 185th Street. That's the challenge with the senior programs and any programs. There's a requirement that the property be the primary residence. There's few, if not zero, programs for investment property. And while we empathize with the challenges faced and the concerns, this is ultimately it is an investment property that there's not going to be much support for, and this has been in this condition for a considerable amount of time. We ask that you deny more time and remand it back to the department.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I'm hearing you. So a motion isn't.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was never really given a chance to even start. I mean, before I did live in the house, before I did, and even back then, I never got any response from Department of Aging.
Well, I think Mr. Vanover explained why.
But I did live in the house back then. I did.
Mr. Chairman, this is Patty to the appellant. Ma'am, do you live there currently?
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, that is the problem.
But she says that when she did live there, she couldn't get any help.
I could live there. I mean, I kind of lived there. It's just that,
Well, you can't go changing your answer from your original testimony. Mr. Chairman, you take advice from the city's personnel at your own risk, but the testimony is what it is to the board. Thank you.
the house would have been fixed up if I could just touch my own money. I mean, the house was in the estate, and then I tried to take the house over to save it, and I did live in a house, and there is still my residence. I still live there.
Okay, well, you've said that you don't, and now you're saying you do.
I do live.
If you do live there, you could get the help that you need, possibly. But in either case, we're not sure where you're at. Okay.
I live at that. That is. I mean, that is my address on a driver's license. I live there.
Well, if you're living there, then you should be able to get help.
And Mr. Chairman, this board doesn't, or the building department does not have the authority to grant an opinion on the programs that are offered or not offered. In this case, as unfortunate as it is, it appears that there's multiple properties that are involved, and we would, at this point, we believe it needs to be remanded to the department for further action.
Excuse me, if I may ask, what multiple properties?
So, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, your testimony said that this was in the estate and that you currently reside on 185th Street. there's one property before the board, but I can't grant an opinion, Mr. Chairman, on what the programs will do or not do.
Right.
What I do know is that this particular property is in the condition that it's in with no clear path to move forward.
It's not, it does not need that much work. You know, I know the property and I would love to be given a chance if you would just,
Well,
allow
this
me to-
doesn't, you have to understand, Ms. Andelsek, that it doesn't, this doesn't prohibit you from going forward and doing something. You know, you would need to, if there's not much to do, you would need to get the permits pulled and you would need to get the work done and start in on it. That would do something. But right now, we're making an order of, a motion is in order to deny more time. We're going to remand it to the property division and building and housing for any further action. Motion.
but I would just wanted to be given an opportunity.
You're gonna be given that. I said that. You just need to get started, but that doesn't stop our motion now. Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, the notice is gonna be sent out to you within 2 weeks. And best of luck. Okay, are there any other dockets or things that come before us?
No.
Okay, I didn't see approval of any resolutions. There's none of that, right?
That is correct.
That is correct. Okay, so we have approval of minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the August minutes?
No.
Okay, motion to approve,
So moved.
moved by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
It might be me. Yes.
There you go.
Joe, you're a ventriloquist.
Yes, he is indeed. I see his lips moving though. Okay, so if there's no further business to come before us, then I'm listening. There is none, right?
None.
Okay, we're gonna adjourn. All right. See you
Bye.
in 2 weeks. Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.